Hello, everyone. I'm Nicole Rivers, and I'm your host of Nikki in the Middle. I am so glad you joined me today. Today, we're going to talk about a very important topic: adult friendships. Yes, look, you guys, remember when we were kids and we can go out and we can just see a group of children and come up to them and say, "Hey, can I play?" And most of the time the answer was yes. And you just get right in there and you get to socializing and playing. And if you saw them over and over again, it just became an expectation. And suddenly you could possibly have a friend group. Now, let's not overly romanticize it. We know that those inevitably led to conflicts and some friendships did not work out. But hey, we just kept searching for somewhere to belong. Why is that? Because instinctively we knew that we needed community, that humans are not meant to live alone. One of our greatest needs is for belonging, and it's not just in our family group. Our families we don't get to choose, but our friendships we do, and that is very important because we get to choose them based on what we love, who we are, our values, and that is something that we forget as we get older. Listen, I get it. Adult friendships can be hard. Finding new friends can be complicated when you are trying to build your life, when you are trying to work and build your career, raise your kids, keep a healthy marriage, be a part of other community organizations such as churches and all the other things we become a part of. Sometimes those activities make us feel great in accomplishments, but those relationships do not transcend beyond the buildings, beyond the programs, beyond the event. And it can become a very exhausting and lonely life. I am a witness. I went from poverty to middle class. That took quite a few years and a whole lot of dedication. And in that process, I did not have a lot of adult friendships. And so I get it. Building adult friendships can be very, very difficult. It does not help that many of us have a history. We have a history of being betrayed. We have a history of being walked away from. We have a history of the friendships just ending suddenly without even understanding what happened and why. We have had long distance friendships that did not survive the distance. And so we've lost some people in our lives, and it became very difficult for me to go and replace those very needed relationships. I no longer wanted to take the risk. I am in my 40s now. And I realize that having a life devoid of close and intimate friendships is an incomplete life. I love my family. I love my church. I love my job. I love the work that I do. But when I need to decompress, when I need to get perspective, when I need somebody to tell me the truth, unfiltered, but in love, I need a close friend. And so I'm like, Nicole, you have got to put yourself back on the market. And I say that laughingly. Why? Because I have been in one serious adult relationship my entire life when it comes to romance. I married my high school sweetheart. But when it comes to friendships, I have had some breakups. I have had some heartbreaks. And now it's like, Nicole, you got to put yourself back out there. And so I am going to do it. I am openly and intentionally looking for friends. And I have people that I have known for years, but I am talking about close, intimate friends, those that I can decompress with, those that I can travel with, those that can do life with me occasionally on some level or the other. And I'm like, okay, so what is the hindrance? Well, let's be real. I have to get rid of all of those prejudices and biases that get in the way of making new friends. I got to get these pictures out of my head. Number one, what they look like. Number two, how old they are. I may have to get rid of their gender. I may have to get rid of their socioeconomic background. I may have to get rid of their career path and what they do for a living. Like, I have these things in my head and I want a bosom buddy and I want them to mirror who I am. And I'm like, girl, get over yourself. Variety is the spice of life. Get somebody in your life that's going to challenge your paradigms, that's going to cause you to have new experiences, that's going to make you grow as an individual. And that person is not going to be just like you. I also have to lower my expectations. Like, anytime I meet someone who could be a potential friend, I cannot fantasize them into my ride or die, my bosom buddy, the one that's gonna be the kindred spirit that's gonna be with me in my life until I'm 90 years old and we are rocking at the rest home, right? I'm not getting married. I'm already married. So I need to lighten up on the friendships and just let things evolve as they will. Also, I had to learn from my students. I am a teacher and I realize these children get together very quickly and they will claim a friend very quickly. And I used to look at them side eye like, I don't know about that. That's a risk. This person could betray you. You're telling them all your business. You're letting them in your space. You're doing all this stuff. And inevitably, it would happen for some. But for some, they had a friend for life. Guess what? The risk is worth the reward. All relationships have the potential to cause pain. However, you cannot experience true love without the risk of heartbreak. And that is just the truth. So if you want close friends, you have to be willing to let somebody get in those vulnerable places, knowing that they have the potential to do damage, but trusting that they won't. So yes, when I'm meeting people, I'm looking for red flags. I do have standards. Sister girl is not going out here being desperate. That is just not my style. However, I'm looking more for green flags. Is this person approachable? Does this person have room for me? Will they be a person that reciprocates the energy and the investment that I am willing to put into this relationship? And so those are the real questions that I am asking, as well as the character questions, because I'm not going to just bring somebody into my family that could do damage and I'm seeing the red flags, but I also don't want to keep people out because I think that we're too different to get along in the long run. So listen, I'm encouraging you, stay open to the newness, stay open to friendship, stay open to the risk that yes, this may not work out. But it is better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. And why is it worth it? Because we are built for community. We are built for belonging. And our life is enriched when we are pouring into others and others are pouring back into us. When we're adding value to others and others are adding value to us. And guess what? It's so much sweeter and so much greater when it's not based on gifts and talents and resources, but based on your heart and your mind and who you are, and somebody seeing you and saying, hey, I think you're worth being in my life. Will you be my friend? I hope you enjoyed our talk today and Nikki in the Middle. If this was something that was valuable to you, please click the like button. If you like how I take these big concepts and make them into bite-sized pieces of information, then go ahead and subscribe. If you feel like this message would help somebody else, go ahead and share. And you know what? If you like me enough, join me again on the next episode of Nikki in the Middle. Until then, do great things, be great things. It is great to be in the middle with you.